Hello, Friends of National Council for Adoption. This is Megan Lestino, the Director of Public Policy and Education here at National Council for Adoption, and I am really excited to be doing this webinar recording today. I get the fun opportunity of working with one of our favorite friends and partners and friends of adoption, America's Christian Credit Union. They're going to talk to us about removing the financial barriers to adoption. They will have some great information for families considering adoption, families already in the adoption process, and great information too for adoption professionals who want to help those families. So we're really excited. America's Christian Credit Union is a great resource for families, and I am going to learn a lot today, and I hope that you all do as well. Today we have with us Natalie DePratt and Naomi Paris-Klotz. They are just absolute experts on their own adoption loan program, but supporting adoptive families financially generally. Natalie is the Assistant Vice President of Consumer Lending at America's Christian Credit Union, and Naomi is the Member Engagement Manager, and they've both got great stories and great experience and great expertise. So Natalie and Naomi, welcome and thanks so much for sharing your time and expertise today, and I'm going to let you both talk a little bit more about what you do and your work with families at ACCU. Let's start with Natalie.
Thank you, Megan. My name is Natalie DePratt. I have been with the credit union for over 16 years. I have worked in many aspects of the credit union, in working with our branches, our call center, our corporate lending, as well as our consumer lending. I have been working with the adoption financing since the beginning, so it's been exciting to be able to build relationships with agencies and with the National Council for Adoption in order to help families make their dreams a reality.
And I'm Naomi Paris-Klotz, and as Megan said, my title here at the credit union is Member Engagement Manager. I've been with the credit union for almost 10 years, and I've been in quite a few different departments as well. I've been a branch manager. I have been in the corporate relations department over corporate accounts. Right now, I also supervise the call center. When it comes to adoption, I work with our adoption partners, our different agencies, and also I talk to families on a daily basis, walking them through the process in getting their adoption financed.
Great. Thank you both so much for sharing a little about yourself. And I know you've got lots of great information to share with us, so I will let you take it away and teach us more.
Okay, we are America's Christian Credit Union. Our mission is to reach, serve, and teach. We do that by following scripture-based principles, practicing and teaching wise stewardship. We're passionate about making a difference. We are a full-service financial institution, so we do offer personal accounts as well as any auto loans that you would find at any other financial institution, mortgage loans, unsecured loans, etc. We manage over $500 million in assets. We believe that every child deserves a forever family. And we also believe that the adoption is the heart of the gospel. In Isaiah 1:17, learn to do good, seek justice, defend the oppressed, take up the cause of the fatherless, plead the cause of the widow. We understand that adoption can be very expensive, with adoption ranges from $5,000 and up. We typically see somebody applying for an adoption loan in the $20,000 to $30,000 range. The decision-making process in adoption is already quite difficult. It's emotionally challenging and involves a lot of soul searching. We didn't want the costs associated with adoption to stand in the way of fulfilling your dreams of bringing a child into your family. Because of that, we look to try to remove the financial barriers of adoption. So America's Christian Credit Union does offer adoption financing. We started our adoption loans in 2009, and we started the program for a few reasons. As we said before, our mission is to reach, serve, and teach. And in order to do that, is to provide financial solutions that are affordable and at the best interest of our members. When we did our research, we found that there were predatory lenders out there offering adoption loans in the 20% range. We felt compelled to be able to help families adopt and not have the finances be an obstacle. We knew we had to offer something more affordable so that those wanting to adopt could fulfill their dreams. We started with our traditional adoption loan. Our traditional adoption loan is essentially an unsecured loan. We offer our loans with very competitive rates. We have rates as low as a 6.99. We can loan up to $50,000. Like I said, our typical adoption loan is in the $20,000 to $30,000 range. We have terms up to 84 months, so it helps make that payment a bit more affordable for you. You can use this financing for both international and domestic adoptions. We see people using it for travel costs, agency fees. Perhaps they've put some of the adoption costs on a higher interest rate credit card or a higher interest rate loan. We're able to refinance those as well. And so it's a loan that you could use throughout the process of your adoption journey.
Gosh, that's really great. How is it that you guys get connected to adoptive families most often? How do they know about you?
What we've done over the last few years is build a lot of relationships with agencies. A big part of what Naomi does on a daily basis is keep the communication up with the agencies. We've reached out to them. We attend different conferences, seminars, to where these agencies are part of, to let them know about what ACCU can offer to their families. We provide the marketing material for them to send out to their families. We've even been part of, kind of a family day to where they might have prospective families come into the agency where we can talk a little bit about how we can help. So like I said, Naomi does a great job in keeping up with the agencies, that communication, whether they need new marketing material, checking in, letting them know about new programs that we offer. Since the beginning of the process back in 2009, we offer more than just the traditional adoption loan. And that has all come from our relationship with agencies and being able to know what families are asking for and what their needs are.
And also
That's
along
really
with
great
that,
because... go ahead.
Sorry. Along with that, most of the agencies have like a new a packet, and that has a lot of different information about the process in there, and so they are able to include our flyer. They also have me and Natalie's business cards, so they can actually have a personal contact with one of us, and they're not, having to call and just speak with whoever. They have our business cards right in front of them, and they could just call us directly, and we're happy to talk to them.
Yeah, that's really great. I just am impressed by the initiative not only to do the work of providing really fabulous services to families, but all the hard work of not just getting them what they need, but making sure they know what they need exists. And I know that's hard to do. So we appreciate your work, and that's why we wanted to partner today, because we know you do such great work in reaching out to families and serving them well. Tell us about the Olson family here that I see.
So this is one of our adoptive families, the Olson family. Their story was actually really big. It was on people.com, and we didn't find any of that out until they actually got their loan with us. So this is a quote that they gave us, and they said, "When our financial plans fell through at the worst possible time, America's Christian Credit Union came through in a huge way to help us close the gap where we needed it. We cannot thank you enough for your incredible customer service, loving and servant hearts. Thank you so much for helping us bring our daughter Tilly home." And actually, David called us on the way to the airport. And so we were able to fund their loan within 24 hours and get them the money they needed.
Wow, that is a quick and amazing turnaround. That was probably not easy work for anyone.
Right. And with the Olson family as well, they have two sons of their own. One of them actually is a special needs, was born with spina bifida. And when they were wanting to complete their family, they really wanted a daughter, but they were told by their doctors to probably not go the route of natural childbirth, because the chances of them having another child with spina bifida was probable, and the severity of it would probably be worse than their son. So they prayed a lot about this journey, and when they got that call, what we don't realize when we started this program is how emotionally involved we would get as well. Mm-hmm. We've, literally probably cried on the phone with some of our members, and, for joy and sadness. I mean, the adoption journey itself is very challenging. So what we feel in being a faith-based organization is that, we definitely look at it as different than this is not just alone. So we get close to the families, we want to help you through it, and we constantly look at what our program is doing, what our families are needing, and being able to reach out to those families and help them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's really terrific. It is hard but meaningful work. We know that well here at National Council for Adoption. Those connections are always so much more than just work. They become really emotionally impacting and meaningful. It's the sort of thing you have to take home with you, and it's hard, but it's also so good, and you're grateful to be involved. We thank you for doing that.
Okay, and so next I'm going to talk about our equity adoption loans. Our equity adoption loans can be used in a couple of different ways. If we are finding more and more people have equity in their homes as the economy has definitely taken an upturn, people have the money or equity available in their homes to be able to take a loan out as a home equity line of credit. What that does is it allows you to take that money out, for a longer term. Also for a lot lower rate. We offer 3 different products, what they call a 3-year reprice, a quarterly, and an annual adjustable. We have rates that are as low as 3.5 on the home equity loans. You can also use your equity in your car. What we were finding a lot with families coming to us for a traditional adoption loan is, we look for ways to be able to say yes. So we will look at the, full credit report and see what you have. And when you think that you're calling for one type of loan, we may be able to find other ways for you to finance at a lower rate. And the equity in your loan for your car is probably one of the first ways we really kind of found that kind of hidden treasure of where we can get you some loan money for a lot lower interest rate. Our car loan rates are as low as 1.99. So we have different variable rate options for the home equity loans, and then we have fixed rate options on the car loans. Longer term equals a lower payment. We can go up to 80% financing on your home, and then we can also do up to 100% on the auto loan according to the value of your car. So it's utilizing, the hard work that you have done in getting things paid down, but it's utilizing that equity to be able to get some money at a lower interest rate.
Oh, that's really interesting and a creative way to help families make things work. About how many families use your traditional versus equity loans? Is one more popular than the other, and are there reasons for that?
Well, for the home equity loan, most families can finance their whole adoption loan with that loan, but for the auto equity, there's not a lot of times that someone has a vehicle sitting in their driveway paid off that's worth $20,000 to $30,000. So a lot of times we find that if a member, for example, is asking for a $30,000 total, we can maybe do 10 on their auto, and at the, like Natalie said, as low as 1.99, and then we would do the remaining 20 on the regular traditional adoption loan. So yes, it's 2 loans and it's 2 payments, but ultimately the interest that they'd be paying is a lot lower compared to just having that one traditional adoption loan at that $30,000.
Great. That's excellent that it's so flexible to sort of give them the long-term best for them and their family.
And there's not really a limit either on how many vehicles we can do. I think I've done 3 vehicles for one family. So we didn't even have to do the traditional adoption loan. We just did 3 of their vehicles, and we would call it a cash out refinance auto equity loan. So they were able to pay out their adoption with their 3 vehicles they owned free and clear.
That's terrific.
So this is another one of our adoptive families. So this was their quote that they sent us. My wife and I have been married for 22 years. In that time, we experienced infertility, a loss of a child, the births of our 2 biological sons, foster parenting, and now international adoption. With the help of the credit union and the people there who saw our deep desire to add to our family, we received all the necessary funds just in time to bring our daughter home, and now, in just a few weeks, our son, and there he is. We are so thankful for ACCU and the ACCU staff member who got to know us. You truly are leaving a legacy. So this just ties in with the fact that all of our loans we manually underwrite. So they don't just go through a computer system and it's a yes or a no. We have a credit committee that actually looks at each and every one of these loans, looks at every single credit report, and tries to find a way for us to say yes. And, this loan is not just a loan, it's really a sacred loan, and I think all of our staff here respects and honors that, because as Natalie says, the adoption journey, it can be tough. It's not always easy, and it can be challenging, and we understand that here at the credit union.
It seems like you were a really great resource and relationship for this family, and I'm so glad that sweet, playful little guy has a great new permanent family. He's delightful. I love him.
So our next adoption product would be our adoption grant visa. And this can be used for both domestic and international adoptions. We find that a lot of times people use this for international adoptions because they go overseas or they're traveling to another country and they use a Visa card instead of having all this cash. So it's a safer way to fund different things that they have to pay for when they get there. So they can also, obviously finance their travel expenses to foreign countries. And also what's really cool about this visa is with every swipe and all the money, it gives back to adoptive families. So we actually give a grant to an adoptive family once per quarter. It's a $500 grant, and that information on our grants could be found on our website. It's just a quick application, and then they just have to tell us about their story. Some people send us videos. And we would pick a family, and like I said, once per quarter, we would send them a check for $500. So that's really cool. And this is one of our adoption grant winners, actually our last one we did. Her name is Faith. And what's really neat about this story is that when we called Faith's mom, actually she was sitting in front of her computer purchasing the plane tickets for her and her family. So it couldn't have came at a better time. She was so thrilled with the news that we were able to give her the $500 grant. And she sent us this nice little note that says, we wanted to express our greatest appreciation for the adoption grant that you awarded our family so that we could bring our daughter home. Her transition into our family has been amazing. She is easygoing, a good eater, amazingly sweet and silly. She is the perfect addition to our family and loved dearly. We will be forever grateful for your generosity and support in helping us bring her home.
That's so great. Are there do the majority of your families use those for international adoptions? Is that something that's often used for domestic adoptions too?
The Visa card or the grant?
Yeah, the Visa card
Yeah,
that
I can talk.
contributes to the grant.
Yeah, I'll talk a little bit about that. We did come up with the Visa. Like I said, we always are listening to our families and even the agencies on what the needs are. And with our traditional loan, that loan is funded all up front. So your payments are going to start on that immediately for the full dollar amount. Some families are not that deep into the process and may have just, begun the process. Maybe they just got their home study completed, and it's going to be, maybe over the next several months, even to a year, and how they have to pay out the money. So the Visa allows you to use the money as needed, and it is, strictly for adoption purposes. So it's not meant to use as your regular everyday Visa. It is meant to use for the process of adoption, but maybe you only need to pay your agency fee up front, and then you're going to have several months before you need to pay something else. And this way it'll help keep that payment under, control and not paying interest on the amount that you don't need up front. With the adoption grant Visa, what we do is we usually believe it's about a year process. We do check in with them at that year, but when the adoption is completed, we take that balance that is on the adoption grant Visa and we turn that into the traditional adoption loan. That way you have a set payment amount and a set term that you're paying that loan off with, whereas a Visa, you obviously have a minimum payment due and it's revolving, and if you left it on there, it would take you a very long time to get that paid off. And our goal is to be able to get you to pay down the loan as quickly as possible, because we know raising a child is expensive, and the loan itself, you need to get paid down as quickly as possible just to be better stewards with your money. So with that, we do have other people who keep the card as well after the fact, and then they do use it more for every day and kind of convert it over because they want to help other families out. And like we said, with every swipe that they're doing, a portion of that goes back into our adoption grant fund and allows us to be able to give grants out to other families.
That's really great. I didn't realize that was something they could continue using and supporting other families with. I love that.
Mm-hmm. So the next thing we wanted to talk about was that free money is the best money. So we really encourage people and families to do their research and find other ways to finance their adoption before taking out a loan. Some of the ideas we had are they can have fundraising events or some kind of fundraising sale. A lot of people do garage sales. They can look for grants and free money. There's a lot of free money out there that people don't even know about and that they can find. Employer matches or grants. We at the credit union actually offer an employer match for our employees here, and I'm sure there's tons of other companies that do as well. But all they would have to do is just ask, and maybe it never came up before, but if they're going through the adoption process, maybe it was something that, they can bring up and ask their employer. We actually had one of our employees take advantage of that employer match when he adopted his son. And then look for, low interest rates on loans. And also some people may have a 401k or retirement account that they can pull the money out of, and as well as savings accounts. But free money is the best money, and we love the fact that when members call us, initially they may call us and say they need, $20,000, and a few months goes by and they say, oh, we had, some events and a garage sale and all this other stuff, and they only need $10,000. And sometimes they feel bad that, that they needed 20 and now they only need 10, but we are totally thrilled for them that they only need that 10 instead of that 20, because that's less money they're going to have to pay back.
Yeah, that's really great. And I am really appreciative that you guys are so conscientious of helping families be good stewards. What kind of fundraisers do you hear of families doing?
I've heard of people hosting like a spaghetti night, like big spaghetti dinner. A lot of times they can partner up with their local church to, have a facility that's big enough, but, something that's an inexpensive way, but gets everybody together, gets them involved, your friends and your family and your community involved in your adoption journey. And, asking for money is never an easy thing. And we understand that, and just being part of this adoption process, we have learned so much from the beginning, and we learned this from different resources that we have been introduced to, and going to even the National Council for Adoption conference and meeting up with other partners, and hearing about different events from our families. But like I said, a dinner, hosting a spaghetti dinner, asking, doing a GoFundMe account. You'd be surprised. People post anything on Facebook and not think anything about it. All of your vacation and your friends want to know about what's going on in your life. And it may be humbling to do it, but if you shared your story with your family and friends about your journey for adoption, you'd be surprised at how many people would like to help you reach that goal. So it's sometimes you have to swallow your pride, but asking for help is okay. I mean, you're taking on a big responsibility, and everybody who has children knows how expensive it is to raise a child, and for you to be able to go out there and adopt a child is selfless, and there will be a lot of people who are willing to help. So just looking for different ways to fundraise, whether it might be a church dinner, maybe it's a neighborhood garage sale, and people are willing to donate their proceeds to your journey.
Those are some really great examples. Families are really exceptionally creative for these events. There are a lot of really unique things I've heard about over the last couple of years, from, their kids making art for families and selling it. I've heard about some special events, like a mini carnival for community kids. I heard of a mom teaching craft classes for neighborhood kids. Parents are really creative in the ways they fundraise and build their families. And just while we were on this slide, I'm going to take a second to do just a little bit of an NCFA plug and say that we have a resources page specifically listing financial resources and some creative ideas that families can consider in kind of all of these bullet points you've listed here. And we have lots of information there linking to ACCU and their great programs too. So if that's something you're interested in exploring, you can check it out at adoptioncouncil.org under our resources tab.
Yes, and we refer people to National Council for Adoption all the time because of the amount of resources that you guys provide. Yeah. Whether it's they're looking for an agency, or they're looking for financial resources, or they're looking for, ways to fundraise. We definitely return that favor in being able to reference people over to the National Council for Adoption. Something that we also promote that's a little bit different than any other financial institution. Usually a financial institution won't refinance their own loan because their job, is to make money. And, not that you frown upon people paying off your loans faster, but in the most, in financial industry, they're looking and banking on having that loan for that term and earning that interest income. What sets us aside is that we look for ways when they do these, fundraising events and they have large, amounts of money to put down onto their loan, we, for free, will re-amortize their loan to bring that payment down and make it more affordable. So we always encourage people. We know that the tax, the adoption tax is not a refund necessarily, but in the adoption tax credit, that can result in a refund on your taxes. And we encourage people to use that to pay down their loan as well. And like we said, we have people come in. Sometimes they feel guilty, I did this for fundraising. I got my tax credit back, my refund back, and I'm sorry, but I'm going to be paying my loan off. And we're like, don't be sorry. We love it. We love that you could be able to do that. It just allows us to be able to offer, more loans out to other families that are looking for it. So we always encourage people to try and pay down their loan as quickly as possible because, that payment amount can be hefty on a, $30,000 loan. So that is something that also sets us aside, is being able to re-amortize and bring those payments down for them.
Yeah, that's so great, and it makes me laugh that they are apologizing for ending a loan, because obviously that's always the goal, but it sounds like it's probably because you guys are building great relationships and you're someone they're glad to be doing business with. So I think that's really just a testament to the great relationships and services ACCU offers.
Well, we really thank you for your time, and if families are, wanting to ask questions or needing more information about our adoption loan program, we just want to know that, or want you to know that we are here for you. We're here to help remove those financial barriers. We have approved and funded over $28 million in adoption loans, and have helped over 1,350 children place with their forever families. So it is a passion of ours to help you through this journey. You can learn more about us and learn more about our adoption loans, adoption grants, and visas, and our other products and services at www.americaschristiancu.com, or go ahead and give us a call. You can talk to our lending team, but if you want some more personal service, please feel free to contact and reach out to myself, Natalie DePratt, or Naomi Paris-Klotz, and we would be happy to help you walk this journey.
Thanks so much, ladies. I just can't thank you enough for the great work you're doing for families and for giving us your time and expertise today to create this recording. Those adoption support numbers are just phenomenal, and we hope that this recording will help send a few more lucky families your way and ultimately meet what is all of our goal of giving every kid a forever family where they're safe and loved. Thanks so much, and just give our greetings and best to the whole ACCU team.
Thank you. We will.